Hey guys, JP here from Trails and Details, and today we're going to do something a little differently and something that I've been wanting to do for quite a while now. Now, over the years, I've learned a thing or two when it comes to detailing, and what I've always wanted to do is try and buy a car that needs some TLC when it comes to detailing, and try and restore that car and then flip it for hopefully a profit. Now, it's not going to be something I want to do all the time, but it's just this one-time thing that I want to try and do myself. So I found a car. It's just a simple 1995 Toyota Starlet, nothing super fancy, but by the looks of it's exactly what I'm looking for. It is mechanically sound according to the owner. According to the owner, it drives and shifts great. All it really needs is some work on the exterior. So the paint is completely faded, the bumpers are faded, and stuff like that is just right up my alley. So today we're going to check out the car. Hopefully it is a decent car, and if it drives well, I will buy it, and then we'll bring it back to the garage, and we're gonna try and bring it back to showroom condition, or at least we'll try. So without further ado, let's check out the car. Alright guys, we're currently in the garage. I just used my daily driver to get here and parked it here because we're gonna fix the car right here in this garage. And from here on out, I will go and take public transport to where the guy is located. And if the car is good, I will take the car back, drive it here, so I have both the project car and my daily driver here, and then yeah, we'll see. For now, we gotta get to public transport. And well, here it is guys, a 1995 Toyota Starlet. As you can see, the paint is flatter than a pancake, the bumpers are faded really badly, and there's some other things that need attention on the exterior. But mechanically, this car is pretty solid. Everything works and it drives pretty good. So for me, as a detailer, this is a great challenge to see if I can make it look better. Alright guys, we're on our way home, and let me tell you, this car, I bought it for 600 bucks. It's 25 years old. It's an Econo Box. It was never meant to be a super luxury car, but despite that, despite its age, it actually drives pretty darn good. I am genuinely surprised how well it still drives after 25 years. I mean, sure, the brakes are not 100% anymore, but it steers great, it shifts great, the clutch is still good. So I am genuinely surprised how well this little Toyota is still performing after 25 years. So considering how well it is mechanically wise, and as far as I can see, of course, I'm not an expert mechanic, but considering how good it looks mechanically, it really deserves kind of a refresh on the outside as well. So I can't wait to get this car to the garage, and then we can get started. For now, I'm gonna enjoy myself a little bit of 90s Econo Box experience, if you will. Alright guys, we are here back at the garage, and as you can see, the car behind me, she made it, and she ran like a dream, never skipped a beat. So now we're gonna give it a quick wash, then put it inside, and from there now we can clay bar and polish. But for now, let's wash the car. Oh, sorry about that guys, I had to hurry a little bit because outside it is raining. But the car is inside, so now we can assess the damage to the paint and see how much we can restore. Okay, so we're gonna have to clay bar the car first. but I've already spotted a few spots I can't restore, which is this. Very, very unfortunate. Just you can see that's the primer right there. This is some paint. This is some damage on the paint. I can't restore that with a polishing pad, and a little bit on the roof of the car. But other than that, I already kind of measured the paint, so to say, to see how thick it is. And in most places, I still have a little bit of wiggle room left. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna clay the car. Alright guys, the Starlet is clay barred, and it was much needed because I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a good amount of junk in there. I already flipped it a few times, but the paint feels much smoother, and now we're gonna see if we can bring it back with some paint correction. Again, some spots are not gonna be very doable, like the one over here, and a little bit on the roof. That is just unfortunate, but I already measured the paint, and it seems like around the car there's an average of 100 micron of paint, I believe it's called in English. Oh, please focus. Thank you very much. So that should be enough to restore at least most of the car. But there's only one way to find out. Let's do paint correction. Alright guys, and this was the before, and this is the after, with one pass of Menzerna 2500. Now I wanted to go higher than this, but the paint is admittedly very thin, and this is Japanese paint, and Japanese paint is known to be kind of fragile. So I could, if I was ballsy, try a heavier compound and a heavier cutting pad, but considering how there's some spots on the car where the paint, there's like no paint left except the primer, maybe the bare body even, I decided to play it safe. Now because I'm playing it safe, I'm not getting all of the paint imperfections out. You can see just a little bit of like finer scratches and swirls. But if I think if I go with Menzerna 400, I'm just gonna burn through the paint, and then it's like game over. So I think I'm gonna stick to this, a medium cutting pad, Menzerna 2500, then finish it with a 3500, and then just focus, and then just do the entire car like that. So I'm very happy to see that there's enough paint left where I can make it shine and make it much better. And yeah, now all we got to do is polish and polish and polish for hours. And also, of course, now that I know my test bed, now that I know it works, we got to, of course, tape off the car with all the plastic trim and such. Alright guys, status report. The car is taped off and ready for further paint correction, but it's getting a little late, so I'm going to call it for today, and tomorrow we'll continue with paint correction. So yeah, we got pretty far today. We washed it, we clay barred it, we did a little bit of paint correction, as you can see, some test beds to see if I can bring the paint back to life at least a little bit. We taped off the car, so tomorrow we're gonna polish the entire car, see how much we can restore, and then we're also gonna tackle these bumpers here. Now, as you can see, I already made a little bit of a test bed here as well with a heat gun, and apparently that works really, really well. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow as well, and then give it an extra layer of protection, and I think those bumpers will turn out great too. But for now, let's go home and get some sleep. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, it's day 2 of working on the Toyota Starlet. And before I go to the garage, I want to go to the hardware store real quick to pick up some stuff that I will use to make the Toyota Starlet look even better. So without further ado, let's get going. Okay, we're here at the paint section, and yes, this is what I'm looking for. Some very simple, cheap, basic paint, matte black. Perfect. Alright guys, we're here back at the garage, and this is what I picked up from the hardware store. 2 simple cans of matte spray paint and some sanding paper. Now my idea is to take the hubcaps off of the car and then kind of sand down the steel rims, paint them black, and then put on some new hubcaps, and I think that will just transform the wheels as well and make it much more fresh, if you will. So that is my idea now. But first, let's continue with paint correction, and then we'll fix the bumpers. And then, if we have time left in this day, we will tackle the wheels. For now though, let's start polishing again. Alright guys, it's lunchtime. I'm gonna go ahead and have some food now, fill up my stomach, but we're making good progress on the Starlet. I mean, you can see the side is becoming much better than what it was before, and even the hood, I don't know if you guys can see, but that's already a kind of a world of difference. Again, it's not perfect because simply there's not much paint to work with, so I gotta work with what I have and use a lighter compound than normal, but you know what, that is quite a nice difference. So I'm gonna have some food and I'll be back in a bit. Alright guys, as you can see, this is a very clear indicator of stuff that I can save, because maybe someone polished this car before a long time ago, or maybe this is because it's an edge and the sun just burned through this or whatever, but as you can see, that is not the red paint anymore, so nothing I can do about that. I'll try to work around this as best I can and try not to make it worse. Alright, here's a little before and after. Before the roof and after. So as you can see, I'm not getting all of the fadeness out of it, or the oxidation if you will, but it is a lot better than what it was. So I'm going to do this to, of course, the rest of the roof and then the back of the car, and then polishing will be almost done. It's been quite a time-consuming process. This car owes me a lot of hours so far, but yeah, there's definitely some good payoff here. Can't wait to show you guys the finishing results. Alright guys, I'm almost done with paint correction, but for now I want to focus on something else. I want to focus on restoring these very faded bumpers. They used to be nice and like dark gray or black, and as you can see they're now very, very light gray and just look awful. But I was able to already fix this part, and the way I do that is with a heat gun. Basically what you do is you put it on, point it at the bumper, and slowly but surely you'll start to see it go back to black again. You can only do this once, but for trying to make this car look nice, it's really great. And after this I will hit it with some UV protection and also make it even more black. So I think if I'm done with this and the UV protection, it's gonna look amazing. For now, let me show you how it works. And it's basically that simple. You point a heat gun to the bumper, you heat it up, and when it turns black, you slowly move it to the next area. It does take quite a long time to do this, but then again, I don't need to respray anything, I don't need to do anything else, it's just point the heat gun, and there you go. So it's a very cheap way to fix it, but it's very time consuming. Without further ado, let's do the rest. Alright, I've been going for about 15 minutes or so, and would you look at the difference? This is before, and bam, this is after. Now, admittedly, it is a little hard to make everything perfectly even with this method, but, you know, it is miles better than it was before, and hopefully when I put on the UV protection, like the extra layer that will make it extra black and protect this bumper, it'll kind of even things out. But my God, what a difference. That is miles better. Alright guys, end of day 2. As you can see, we did a lot of work in terms of paint correction. The car is looking a lot more shiny right now. We restored the bumpers, look at that, that looks way better. Also the front bumper, we cleaned a little bit up. So yeah, we made good progress today. And tomorrow I'm hoping to finish the car. We will put the car on jack stands, we'll take the wheels off, we will clean the undercarriage, and then we will be able to clean the wheels, sand them down, spray them black, and put the new hubcaps on. So all in all, it's going to be a nice day tomorrow, and hopefully then add some paint protection to the paint, of course. Maybe like vacuum the interior real quick, and then it should be done. So yeah, but for now, we did a pretty good job. Alright guys, it's day 3 of working on the Toyota Starlet. The car is parked outside. As you can see in the daylight, it's looking a lot better. But of course those wheels look pretty terrible, but we're gonna fix that. And I actually have a bit of a surprise for you. Now originally I wanted to put some hubcaps on the wheel, but maybe, just maybe, my brother has some nice alloys for me to put under the car. We'll just have to see if they actually fit. So let's see if that works out. So here we go, day 3. I don't know. Maybe. It's worth a shot. Alright guys, so I put that rim on there, and while it does look pretty good, unfortunately when you turn the wheel all the way, it does rub in the wheel well. So unfortunately that's not going to be a thing. But it was worth trying. So we're going to have to fix the original wheels, which is okay because that was my original plan. So no fancy rims, we're going to have to stick with the steelies and the hubcaps. But for now, let's jack up the car fully, put it on jack stands, and then we'll be able to clean the wheel wells. Wow. Now that is one dirty wheel well. Let's get started. here's a little before and after. This is what it was like when we started. And this is what it looks like right now. And that is a world of difference. Alright guys, it's time to tackle these wheels. So what we're going to do, first we're going to mask them off with some masking tape and some newspapers. Then we're going to sand the wheel and then degrease it so the paint has a better chance of bonding, and then we'll give it just a few simple layers of black paint. It doesn't have to be, you know, perfect. All it needs to do is make this rim look black, so when the hubcaps go on, it looks a lot better. So let's do that. Alright, looking pretty good. Alright, it's time to put a fresh layer of matte black paint on these rims. Let's do this. Oh wow, that looks so much better. Nice. Okay, so while the wheels are drying, I want to show you guys real quick what I'm going to do with the interior. Now with the interior, when it comes to this plastic, one of my favorite products to use is 303 Automotive Protectant. It kind of brings back the nice, more darker finish, if you will, that was, that it came with from the factory. But also it protects against UV rays, which is very nice. So let me show you guys how much of a difference it can make. So just spray it on. And look at this. You get that really nice, much more gray finish on plastic trim like this, and it just makes it look so much better. Just a few sprays, and there you go. Look at this. I mean, just look at this compared to this. That is a world of difference. So I'm gonna do the interior with this product, and then when the wheels are dried, I'm gonna give it one more coating, and then we're gonna do the other side as well. So, making progress. Wow, that looks so much better. I can't wait to put the hubcaps on. It's gonna look awesome. Alright guys, it's time to tackle these bumpers one more time. This time I'm gonna add some Chemical Guys VRP, which will make the bumpers look a little more black, but also protected against UV rays, so hopefully they'll stay black. So yeah, it's very simple. All we gotta do is put this on an applicator pad, spread it out, and you'll see the difference. Here we go. Alright guys, we're almost done with the Toyota Starlet. We've put in a lot of work so far and we're almost there. Now the paint is currently hardening, if you will, so we gotta wait at least 2 hours until that's you know, finished, so to say, so we can put the hubcaps on. And in the meantime, we're gonna put on some wax to give it some extra protection. Now, I know this paint is definitely not perfect, but come on, look at that shine. I mean, considering how it was, that's not too bad. Yeah, nice. Alright guys, time to put the hubcaps on. Now for the hubcaps, I've chosen these. These are just basic 13-inch plastic hubcaps, nothing fancy. However, the packaging says, you guys can see that, sport wheel cover. So not just any wheel cover, these are apparently sport wheel covers. So I mean, this is at least 20 horsepower extra. Let's put it on. Oh my god, that looks so much better. Wow, that is so much better than it was before. Alright guys, and after all that hard work, we went from this to this. And just look at the huge difference we were able to make in a few days of hard work, and it's come quite far, considering how far gone the paint and bumpers were. It's admittedly not perfect, with some spots on the hood and the roof that were just unsalvageable, but with that paint correction, bumper restoration, the painted rims with the brand new hubcaps, and the clean interior, it looks like a nice, clean little econo box, and now it's not only mechanically sound, but it has an exterior to match that as well. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty darn proud of myself with how much I was able to revive this trusty little Toyota. Alright guys, and that's pretty much it. The car is done and ready to be sold. But before we do that, first we'll tally up the costs, what I spent. And after that, I do plan on making like a road trip or something to you know, drive it one last time before I put it up for sale. So what did I spend? Well, 600 bucks for the car. The hubcaps were about 30 bucks. The spray paint, the sanding paper, and the masking tape came in around 10 bucks. The detailing supplies in total were give or take 30 bucks. And well, that's pretty much it. So I spent a total of 670 bucks on a car, and look at that. It looks alright. I mean, it doesn't look great, of course. The paint is so far gone, but luckily I was able to restore it and it looks quite decent. And for 670 bucks, I am mobile. It's quite reliable. It drives great. I mean, that's a pretty darn good price. And that's pretty much the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had a blast trying to restore this car to its you know, a decent condition, if you will. And like I said, I'll do a road trip with this car before I send it off, and then of course we'll put it up for sale and let's see if we can make a profit. Either way, I had fun. It's been quite an experience, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's been a bit of a long video, but yeah, there you go. One kind of restored Toyota Starlet ready for the road. Thanks again for watching. Have a good one.